A PowerPoint detailing the impact of the Paralympics on disability sport and inclusion by Kelsey, Danielle and Hayley. In 1948, the first Paralympics was held in Stoke Mandeville, Britain. Sir Ludwig Guttman was the first man who first created the idea of the Games, as he wanted to include war veterans who had been injured. The Paralympics then later took place in Rome in the 1960s. It includes participants from over 160 different countries. The game structure was designed down to 6 classification groups, which vary from many different disabilities. In June 2001, the IOC and IPC signed an agreement obliging that all host cities in the future have to bid for both the Paralympics and Olympics at the same time.
Paralympics 2012. Back in 2012, there was only 48% of the public that wanted to watch the Paralympic Games. The BBC had their offer declined of the opening ceremony of the Paralympics due to Channel 4 winning their bid of £8 million. Shortly later, Channel 4 live coverage attracted an audience of 11 million compared to the previous of 2.8 million in 2008 Olympic Games. Channel 4 continued its advertisement and encouragement for people to tune in and watch the Paralympics. The video below shows just one of the ways in which Channel 4 has promoted the 2012 Paralympic Games.
Kick the bass for them brothers and let them know what goes on. Rolling stones are acting, not bragging. Lips bigger than Jack and not sagging. Rolling backwards, I'ma leave it at that. That ain't got nothing to do with rap. Get up, just like that. 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 I know this is a shock. Gangsta 20 years later, of course it does what conscience is faded. New generations believe in them fables. Gangsta boogie on 2 turntables. Thank you for letting us be ourselves. So don't mind me if I repeat myself. These simple lines be good for your health. To keep them time lines on the shelf. Live life like you just don't care. Never scared. Rain the noise is the moment they feared. Get up, still a beautiful idea.
Although Channel 4 have hugely tried to promote the Paralympics, the Paralympics still struggles with funding. Statistics show that the Paralympics receive only 47 million, whereas the Olympics receive 256 million. The Olympics receive 209 million more than the Paralympics get for funding.
In this video, we will show you the attitudes toward disability and inclusion within London due to the Paralympics and how it has changed.
Well, another packed Olympic Park on the final extraordinary weekend of this summer of sport. But has the huge public support for Paralympics GB athletes really changed British attitudes towards disability in general? Well, a specially commissioned poll by Channel 4 suggests it has. 2/3 of viewers say the coverage has had a positive effect on their view of disabled people, while more than half say they now feel much more comfortable talking about disabilities. Which is just as well, especially against the backdrop of record levels of disability hate crime. Our Olympics reporter, Porrick O'Brien, reports.
Wednesday evening, the Olympic Park, London. Ollie Hind, who has a condition that weakens his muscles, takes gold. Same day, same time, Belfast. Michael Bailey, who has a condition that weakens his muscles, is confronted yet again by the group of teenagers who have tormented him for years.
These kids are all sitting here laughing and call me freak. Which side are you sitting now? But I felt down myself getting a bit frightened because there was too many of them.
Before his condition worsened 7 years ago, Michael could walk.
But once I'm in the wheelchair, it all changed. Completely changed. And I think back now, that was the start of it. That was the start of it. When the throwing battles at me and all was coming in. Like that,
Since the Paralympics, this video has shown that although inclusion and discrimination has become better, it's still occurring elsewhere around the world. It's shown that the Paralympics are sent their message across, but single-handedly cannot cancel out discrimination and improve inclusion by themselves. Changes since the 1960s Paralympic Games. There have, however, been a massive increase in participants. From starting out at only 400 athletes in 23 countries, has now increased to 3,951 athletes in 146 countries.
Looking at the movement from the Paralympics from the beginning, as you can see in this photo, this is where the first Olympics ever started, and this was the size and the shape of the stadium. Moving on to when London won their bid, this is the construction site of building the arenas around. The one down here shows all the different villages and different stadiums where all the Paralympic and Olympic champions competed. Although now, in 2014, all the sites have now been changed into flats. Even now, the sites have got their own name, even though the name of the road is called Celebration Avenue. Is this really a celebration, changing all of our sporting champions' stadiums from where they won into streets and flats? Where do you think the Olympics will be in 20 years, and do you still think the Paralympics will exist?